So what exactly is LEGO Horizon Adventures? Kia ora everyone, I am someone who really loves LEGO and I really love gaming, so the two mixing together has always excited me. The prospect of PlayStation Studios getting involved with the toy company also really excites me because as someone who loves the worlds of toys and gaming but isn't in that same ecosystem of Nintendo, I've always felt like I've been missing out on something here. So LEGO Horizon Adventures launches this holiday season for the PS5, Nintendo Switch and PC, which in of itself is an insane reality that we currently live in. The game is co-developed by Guerrilla and Studio Gobo, and it appears to be an action-adventure title that's kind of in the same style as Sackboy's Adventure for the PlayStation systems. This is a pretty big shift in the worlds of both Horizon and LEGO, and I wanted to highlight some of the thoughts that I have with all of this, as well as speculate on the potential future for this theme in translation to LEGO sets. There are timestamps down below for those interested, and remember, liking this video and subscribing helps to support more videos like this in the future. Like I said, I think this is a pretty big deal for LEGO games. Recently we've had a handful of titles released outside of the TT Games designers. This is the first LEGO game title that's being based on an IP that doesn't really have an existing LEGO theme on shelves. Yes, we do have the Incredible Tornex set though, which released a few years ago now, but we've seen nothing for this license ever since. It's because of this that I imagine PlayStation will look at throwing a ton of cash at the IP to get some sets made and released for later down the line. Very similar to what's happened with Sonic releasing as at first an ideas set, but now we have a full-fledged theme with multiple sets, and they're really good sets as well, mind you. Now this game appears to be a lighter retelling of the entire story of Aloy rather than a direct adaptation of the two Horizon games. This is interesting to me. I assumed it might have been a game just set in the world of Horizon, kind of doing its own thing. We do see some familiar faces in the trailer and dinos, but I'm just really curious to see how all of this plays out. A couple of main takeaways: this is just not what I was expecting to see at all really when we heard rumors of this game existing. I assumed it was going to be something in the style of LEGO Fortnite, essentially just a reskinned Horizon game with the same third-person camera and control schemes, and it kind of be a bit more of a survival adventure thing. Horizon has very specific aiming and attacking and hacking off robot parts, and I thought that those would translate really well into the style of LEGO games, but here we have something that appears to be pretty different from the traditional LEGO game that we're used to seeing. A lot of the gameplay in the trailer really felt like it was the identity of the current PlayStation family games. To me, the game feels a lot like Sackboy's Adventure. The customization options here look a lot like Zoom Zoom Shop, so I wonder if we're going to see some licensed material there. At the same time though, I think it'll break my heart if I see some PlayStation IP as LEGO in-game and not in sets in real life though. There also seems to be a little bit of customizing of what appears to be like a hub space, which we've seen in past games to some extent, but not really to this kind of a degree. Really, I'm fascinated at this game's existence because I sat there at the reveal just wondering who exactly is this game for. The game is clearly intended for families and children because currently I think Xbox and PlayStation are starting to realize the market that they're currently missing out on by not having that family-friendly game that Nintendo just completely dominates in. I can't wait for Astrobot for this exact reason. It's the game that will likely be my game of the year for 2024. So why Horizon of all things? Part of what makes the LEGO games work was that attachment that people had to those LEGO kits. They are, after all, essentially just advertisements for the toys, and the toys can also advertise the games. I ended up buying a lot of those LEGO DC villain sets because I really loved the video game, and if it weren't for the LEGO Star Wars game from 2005, I probably wouldn't have gotten into LEGO Star Wars at that point in my life. Horizon Zero Dawn isn't a franchise that the youth currently love as much as something like Star Wars or Marvel or DC, or a more appropriate comparison here, Jurassic Park, which is why I think we're bound to get some sets on this eventually as PlayStation try more and more to make Horizon Zero Dawn the next biggest hit thing in their catalog. I think PlayStation have picked Horizon here because it's the most family-friendly game that also happens to have that single-player narrative branding that they've been insistent on since the PS4 era. Horizon is the only single-player narrative series on PlayStation that isn't rated mature. We had so many amazing titles through variety of genres over the PS1 to PS3 generations, and while we still get the odd amazing platformer or puzzle adventure or online multiplayer game, PlayStation really have made it their mission statement to be the single-player narrative system. That is, at least until we did start seeing a huge push for these games as a service titles recently. It's strange to me though because I did mention in my PlayStation video a couple of days ago that PlayStation do have a lot of family-friendly IP that would have made for amazing sets and probably really good games as well. I feel those themes would have been more successful with audiences than Horizon surely. quickly. The game releasing on multiple platforms is also a really smart move on PlayStation's part. It helps their attempts to make the Horizon brand even bigger than it already is, something that the industry appears to be trying in all sorts of fields as of late. You want these games to be huge, and if we look at the recent gaming IPs that have been translated into other medias, if people love the Mario movie, they're likely to buy Mario products. The Last of Us and Naughty Dog, while receiving controversy from the audience for re-releasing the games multiple times now through remasters or remakes, proved to be a successful venture because the show did generate more fans that were willing to try the game out, especially once they were both ported to PC. Amazon's Fallout will easily be one of the most talked about pieces of media this year, with the two Fallout titles that hardcore Fallout fans consider to be the two weaker ones becoming some of the biggest selling hits in 2024, with Horizon also receiving a TV show adaptation later on, and now a game being produced to the best family-friendly console on the market right now. I can't imagine PlayStation are going to want to skip out on licensing this title out for toy products. When the Tornik released, I loved the base idea there that we could see future sets. I saw the vision. Aloy here appears to be the exact same figure mold, however, the new bow piece does look gorgeous there. What really grabbed my attention here was actually seeing Val as a playable character. He appears to be using all sorts of new special parts. Really great looking hairpiece, a cape, and a really cool spear that I hope we see in future sets. Simply put, in my eyes, that Thunderjaw mold has to be made as a set. It is an incredible design and it looks like it would be phenomenal to build. I was so happy to see all of these other creations make it in the trailer. They really went all out on this thing. The last thing I wanted to touch up on here is the co-op element, which has been rooted in the LEGO game's identity since its inception with the TT games back in 2005. Now here, PlayStation have said that this game features both couch co-op and online co-op, and I just know that that's going to be a huge deal for a lot of people. TT games did experiment with some online co-op back in the day. I believe the LEGO Harry Potter games, years 1 to 4, possibly some others, maybe the LEGO Star Wars Complete Saga. I only know of Harry Potter because that's actually the one that I played using online co-op, but while I'm not a fan of online co-op versus couch co-op, because I did grow up as a Halo player after all, the gaming industry did see a huge shift for online play during the last generation, and it was something that TT decided not to pursue. This was always seen as a negative on those games, so I do hope to see some celebration here from the player base. I'm looking forward to this title actually. At first I was pretty lukewarm on the reveal because I was expecting a more traditional style TT-like game similar to the Skywalker Saga. I thought it might have been a pretty big expansive game that maybe just looked like a Horizon game but reskinned to LEGO, but now I'm actually glad to see that it's not a Horizon game just reskinned into LEGO, because if I wanted to play a Horizon game, I'll just go play Horizon. It's starting to feel a lot closer to games like Ratchet & Clank All for One or Lara Croft Temple of Osiris. It's something within the existing IP, but it's a different game for the franchise entirely. This excites me a lot more now, so I look forward to playing this come Christmas time. But what are your thoughts on this? Do we like the idea of PlayStation games being turned into LEGO? Should we expect some sets from this theme? Do we even want sets from this theme? You should let me know your thoughts down below, and remember that liking this video and subscribing to this channel here does help to support more videos like this in the future. Ka kite anō, I hope to see you all next time.